Well, I already started this tour off by being super awkward, so I guess we'll just continue with that vibe and begin with the first room I show you being the bathroom. Now, maybe you're not one to put a lot of value on having a nice bathroom, but me, it's essential. The bathroom is truly the epicenter of self-care. Bathrooms were always where I felt safest to process my deepest emotions that I couldn't even try to explain to others. So with that said, naturally, I really love when I can just relax in the tub. In my opinion, it's the best way to self-soothe. So despite this room already being updated when I bought it, they had kept the original tub, which was definitely not a soaker, but worse, it was actually badly in need of resurfacing. So what did I do instead? I just replaced it all together so that I could put in a soaker tub. And I really didn't even know how much I loved taking baths until having this. Like, one would have a solid argument that I spend way too much time in the tub. Thankfully, they had extra tile that they left in the storage unit, which was just enough to replace the few rows that they needed to. And I also replaced the shower head with a rain shower head. And also I put in this handheld spray, which I recommend that everyone has one of these because it's not just good when you don't want to get your hair wet, but also for trivial things like actually cleaning the tub, it's really nice. So I love that. And then I hate glass block windows, so I got these shelves made out of quartz to add some extra shelves and, make it prettier with putting some plants on here and putting all my product, just have more room for all of this. Yeah, so that is that. What else did I do in here? I replaced out all of the hardware. I added this glass shelf in here. The switch plates I put in. And the glass shower door, obviously. After I put the tub, or when I put the tub in. Yeah. Oh, and then a shower fan, which is really cool because it changes colors. And yeah, so it's got chromotherapy. It's like the cherry on top for setting the mood when soaking in the tub. Now, maybe this isn't something that I need to share, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I really don't know why, but I have so many memories as a child hiding out in the privacy of the bathroom, just sitting on the vanity, staring at myself in the mirror, and just sobbing for no reason other than that I felt sad. I always felt homesick, even though I always had a very close relationship with both my parents and my sister. But I just would cry out to myself that I wanted to go home. I learned recently that that's common for starseeds. It's hard to explain, but I think I was grieving things that my soul knew was going to happen that I couldn't even comprehend. So anyway, bathrooms were always where I felt safest to process my deepest emotions that I couldn't even try to explain to others. Now, although I'm a Libra rising, since it's a late degree, it makes most of my first house in the sign of Scorpio, which is the modern ruler of Pluto and the sign that my Pluto is in. Now, I went into depth on Pluto's archetype in my video, The Magic of Pluto in Aquarius, which people seem to really like that video. So if you want to learn more, I'll leave a link to it in the description box. Here, I'll just talk about what it means for when Pluto is placed in the first house of a natal chart. It's a powerful placement that significantly influences one's personality and approach to life. The first house represents the self, identity, and how an individual expresses themselves to the world. Pluto's presence here adds intensity, depth, and transformative energy to these aspects of the personality. Here are some key characteristics associated with Pluto in the first house. The first house is linked to the physical body, and Pluto's influence may bring a theme of regeneration. Individuals with this placement might undergo significant physical or psychological transformations, leading to a renewal of their sense of self. Individuals with Pluto in the first house often exude a magnetic and intense presence. Others may find them intriguing or even intimidating due to the depth of their personality. The first house is about self-discovery, and Pluto's influence brings a constant process of transformation and rebirth. These individuals may experience significant life-altering events that reshape their identity over time. Pluto is the planet associated with power and control. Those with Pluto in the first house can possess strong willpower and determination to overcome challenges. They often face and embrace the darker aspects of life, emerging stronger from transformative experiences. While they seek control over their lives, these individuals may face challenges related to issues of control and power dynamics, both within themselves and their interactions with others. There's often a fascination with challenges and the exploration of the unknown. Pluto in the first house individuals may be drawn to situations that allow them to test their limits and evolve through overcoming difficulties. These individuals tend to perceive things on a profound level. They may have a keen insight into the motivations of others and are drawn to understanding the deeper meanings behind actions and events. You probably can already see some of these aspects from what I've already shared, but you'll see how these themes play out more throughout this video. What I'll say for right now is that this placement is a difficult placement to have. Pluto is a planet that is very subconscious. It's like intertwined with the psyche. And a lot of the times, it's not even something that you're really like consciously aware of, but it has like powerful impact. And so having Pluto in the first house is really challenging, but it's also something that I know is a huge gift, because it is so powerful. And that's what makes it a difficult planet. Because it's like power that you cannot hide. And other people like sense it, but Pluto is such a subconscious planet. And so it's really hard to really like pinpoint what exactly is happening. I'm gonna make a whole separate video on Pluto because it has had such a profound impact on my life, and it's so intense and deep that I can't really express the gravity of it in this short little clip. So we're in the midst of like all of the personal planets transiting over Pluto currently. We had a few this week, and I mean, it started when Pluto moved into Aquarius on the 20th. And since it's been like one over the other, like the sun and then Mercury and then the moon and then Mars will be next and then Venus last. Those are all personal planets. And I have felt these transits very strong, and has just like definitely made like creating this video like even harder than it already was for me from what I've already explained. It just brought to the surface like all of these insecurities and fears about making this video. And a lot of it has to do with this placement and the impact that it's had on my life because of its unconscious behavior, that growing up and I really didn't understand what intuition was, or that like I didn't even know that that's what was happening, but I would like sense this kind of reaction from people. And me being a Libra rising too, which like kind of like is like counterbalances this on the other end of the spectrum, because Libras tend to be very like very welcoming and like appealing and attractive in the sense of like not intimidating, like the opposite, and like people pleasers and just very, you know, mediators, you know, that kind of energy. And so like I get both sides, like, and it's frustrating because it also, my ascendant like squares my sun in my chart, which is also a hard placement because people don't like who I am, like who my identity is and how I present myself to the world doesn't always like feel like it like aligns well or is like a good representation. And like that also is like off-putting to people. Like people don't know, like, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like I'm constantly being misunderstood, like constantly being misunderstood of like who I am. And that brings up like a lot of fear of like how I'm going to be perceived, and also like this unconscious like envy that I could sense from people at times. And like when it's happening on such a like subconscious level, like it's really hard to like call that out as like that's what's happening, because it's like people don't see it, and it makes me look like I'm paranoid or whatnot. But like it also has had like major implications at like my relationship with authority figures and power dynamics. Like it's